Hey, what's up, my bold and beautiful peeps? I hope that everybody's enjoying their year so far. Um, I said this in another video. I don't know if I said it in a bold video. But anyways, I said that I wanted to do a video talking about what I would like to see on all the soaps this year. A video per soap, of course. Um, and so I just wrote down some ideas, well, typed them up on my phone. Just 5 ideas of what I like to see on the soap. As of this moment, of course, I probably will change as the year goes through. But anyways, no particular order, just what popped in my head first. And the first thing I think a lot of Bold and the Beautiful fans would like to see, and some people who stopped watching, um, would say is that the show needs some better writing and direction for sure. It's like Brad Bell just I don't know what he's some twisted fantasy world he's got going on the show, but it's just it's like they have some really great moments on the show. It just takes way too long to get to that point, or it's just a lot of filler, a lot of repeating. It just drives people crazy, like myself. And I was like, they just really need all new writers, new head writer, new script writers, because it's like yeah, the head writer comes up with the ideas, but the script writers, breakdown people, they're writing the same thing for every episode, and it's like they already started this year with, um, oh Lord, what's his name? Will, Dylan, and Electra. You know, a few of their scenes could have been cut between last year and this year. Then of last year, this year about Dylan being homeless and living in a car and stuff. A lot of those lines just repeated. It's just like why do they like it? Just to repeat stuff. I mean, I know they like to, budget, so they can do the the on location shoots. That's the word I'm looking for. But I mean, your writing's suffering. I don't think they lose enough viewers for the show would be in trouble, but you know, let's the whole, especially since most of the year was just Luna stuff. Well, I do love me some Luna, but what they did with the character was just really horrible, and it's like they really don't know what to do, or they'll do something, but they can't commit to going all the way through, like Liam and his brain tumor. They had to rewrite that so he's not dead or something. Because I can't believe that that was the original script, but who knows? It's a soap opera. Some days just seem like they change, and this is not the way that they were going to originally write it, and it's something different. But then who knows? That could have been what it was supposed to be in the first place. But I don't know. But yeah, and it just seems like everything is just all over the place. It's just I guess I should just stop talking because I'm gonna start repeating myself repeating myself with this. But yeah, and it's like you got a great cast. You had some interesting ideas. It's just the follow through and then the recons and stuff just doesn't really fit or doesn't really flow as well as it should. I guess. And number two, it goes with number one. It's some newer storylines. I've been watching the show coming up on 4 years. Wow, dang. 4 years. I still count my little break because even though I wasn't watching full time, I still watched some episodes here and there and read what was going on. So, and, like I said, with the repeating dialogue and stuff, I felt like I was watching everything from when I stopped watching full time because they repeated what happened. So like I felt like I was there when Luna killed Hollis and whatever the old dude's name. But anyways, newer storylines, like I said, almost 4 years and they've been telling the same storylines over and over again. Maybe just with different people, like, they've done the triangle with Brooke, Ridge, and Taylor like 3 times since I've been watching the show. So I feel bad for the fans that have been watching much longer and had to endure this mess. Somebody almost dying but didn't die. You have Eric and Liam, then you had Sheila die how many times, Luna die how many times. They took over and done crazy stuff how many times. Uh there's something else. I've heard Hope's line being canceled and moved around and stuff. It's just there's some other ones too, but yeah, this they just seem like just going in circles. I mean, I know all soaps redo storylines, but like I said, almost 4 years and it's just the same storylines over and over again. I mean, there's some interesting things that happen in the storylines, but come on, step out, do something different for a change. Yeah, and I guess they kind of did something like this before, but I'm actually really liking the storyline with Katie taking, um, getting her own fashion line and stuff. This seems intriguing, though there's some repeated stuff that's already been said, like Ridge and Brooke already having those conversations and stuff. But I think this would be really good for Katie, and just think of all the possibilities, like her bringing in Eric and Hope and Hope's brother. His name is not important. Maybe even Will might jump jump ship, and that'd be some massive. Electra did too, but there's a lot of stuff that could happen with that storyline. I hope that they give it some justice and something, and not just kill it because it will kill Brooke or whatever. I still think it's stupid. You can't take my name. It's her too, bitch. I don't know, but that's something hoping. And speaking of new storylines, the show really could use a good villain. I love Sheila, I love Luna, but they're very one notish. They just wanted to fit in and be loved, especially by Finn, which he's not really worth it. Honestly, sorry. He seemed that way in the beginning, but the way that they write Finn, he's just really like a bitch. It's just Steffi just slap him like, "You do what I say," kind of thing. So, but I think it's really admirable. She still sticks with him, even with all the crazy family members that come after him. Steffi still stays married to him. They've had they're like the only ones that haven't really broken up in the last, thinking of this decade so far. Of all the sub couples, they're like one of the very few that have not broken up. They had their little split times for when Jacqueline went on her maternity leaves, but they haven't really broken up. Broken up. So she's not. I'm filing for divorce or anything like that. No, that's crazy. But I was just thinking about that. Because of On Young and the Restless, Lauren and Michael, they've never divorced. I'm like, wait, hold on. I remember seeing their wedding. That was a long time ago. Wow. Anyway, so that's what made me think about that. Okay, back to Bold and Beautiful. But the very one know they want to be loved by Finn, or they have a man that they have in their mind and they want to be with them. Even though I love Sheila and Deacon, Sheila did seduce Deacon and try to keep him around. Luna molested Will. It's not colored seducing. That was a molestation for sure. Ooh, not the best word there, but a villain that would do something else. I guess with something besides being a psycho. Like somebody that just like I see in Bill a lot. I didn't get Bill hasn't really done any like. I've seen the flashbacks and the stories about stuff that Dollar Bill has done, but it'd be interesting to see, him and Katie do something to really mess with Forrester. If not Forrester as a whole, but at least Ridge and Brooke. That's good. My phone just went to sleep. I don't know. Maybe bring somebody else in. But I feel that Dylan is going to be the next psycho chick that obsess over a man. And it just seems like just the way she was looking at him while, she was looking out the window at him. Um, yeah, that was Friday, yesterday's episode where she was just looking at him. I was like, oh, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. If if he decides to be interested in her, then okay, do it that way. But not let her be obsessed with him and stuff. That's just But some people are saying, and I can actually believe this happening, is that Luna is actually Dylan. And I'm like, oh my god, don't do this. But I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past Brett to do that. She's in a mask or has surgery and stuff to look like her. But then that'd be kind of stupid now that you think about it. Or just send Dylan there to watch over Will or something. I don't know. But I wouldn't put it past them. But Now that I think about it, no, lordy, that would erase what number one should be. I really sit there and think about that storyline. Oh my god, no. Okay, recover. But yeah, more interesting villains, more interesting characters. It's just like everybody's kind of blah, you know. Let's dig into learn a little more about Dylan. Learn more about Daphne. Is that her name? That wants Carter of people. Um, I don't really care about Hope's brother, but learn more about Remy. I like Remy. You know, something maybe more character driven storylines than wacky. How crazy, how far can we go with the storylines? And number four, speaking of characters, where the hell is Thomas Forster? Why can't we keep him on full time? Please tell me why. What the hell did Thomas do that he can't be on the show full time? This is just a travesty of travesties. Not just for the character to not be on the show, but also to not be with Hope. Like really, Hope and Liam being back together is just so stupid. And I was like, literally, I mean, I don't search for stuff like this stuff on social media, not on social media like I used to be, but I've literally never seen somebody go, Liam and Hope deserve to be together. No, I always see, well, actually, I did see some people that were happy about the wedding, but for the most part, everybody is like, where's Thomas? Thomas and Hope deserve to be together because Thomas, Hope's a little thing for Thomas. I don't know. I wouldn't say obsession, but attraction to Thomas was really hot to me, and it just made her character more interesting to me. And then her not wanting to marry him was stupid. I also thought it was stupid that he never married Paris, because he was seemed so excited about being a husband, but over a year later, they weren't married. I'm not complaining, but I just thought that was weird. But you know, they have better chemistry. They're hotter together, and I just hated how they just had Hope go. I can't forgive Thomas for what happened with Hope. Um, or not Hope, Beth, which is a weird name for it. No offense, Beth, but that's just a weird name for a kid. But eventually she'll grow up into an adult and be named Beth. But anyways, that kid's annoying as hell. Anyways, but but if you can't forgive Thomas for all that, then the whole 2023 early 2024 makes absolutely no sense. If you can't forgive him for making you think your kid was dead, then why did you jump in bed with him? That's the kind of writing that just drives me crazy. Bo's not the only one that's done that, but Bo sticks out as the worst people for doing that for sure. And it's just stupid. He should be there at Forster, especially with Katie starting up her own business. It makes sense that Thomas would be there so they can like really battle up against Katie. You know, it would make sense and better storyline to me. I'm not the only one that's missing Thomas. Come on, let's bring him back. They said that he filmed for like a week or so, and that was, I guess, all his scenes were filmed or whatever. But I don't know. That didn't sound like he was going to be sticking around long, but the way that they were saying, which is so. Why? I know it's always a character or a couple that just like disappears or breaks up or you know, dies. But it's a soap opera they can bring back a lot. But anyways, I think that Thomas should be back on the show, basically. Summary. And last but not least, I don't know, something on my desk. I don't know what that is. Or maybe that's my phone. Anyways, the last one. Better sets. Fix your sets. What made me think of this is that they keep showing the beach house, and you look in the background of the beach house, and it's like this dark sky. like it looks like somebody painted it and just put it up in the background. I'm like, that's some stupid ghetto shit. I'm like, you can't, with AI and CGI going on, you couldn't, or green screen, you couldn't do something to make it look good. Not only that, n- it looks like a painting, but, they're at the beach in California. So I'm trying to figure out why would it be dark in the background. California is not known for them getting a lot of rain, so it should be bright, sun shining day at the beach. Why is it dark? That just drives me crazy. I was like, just like listening. I was like working one day, and I was like working, and I looked up and was like, hold on, and that kind of like distracted me from the rest of the scene. I'm like, why is it so dark back there? It's so it just drives me crazy. I mean, I know they save money for the little location shoots, which is really cool. The location shoots are really cool, but I mean, does it really cost that much to do something with the background there? Like, oh lordy, at least paint a prettier picture. But that's just deprecation. Also, when I was just sitting there watching the other stuff, and I was like, Bold and Beautiful, they only have one place to like go and hang out to eat. That's at El Gardino's. And I was like, that's literally the only place I've seen anybody at. Like, they don't have any coffee shops. They don't have any stores. They don't even have a park to go sit on the bench and overhear people's business. Everybody is either mostly at Forster. People that don't even work there, hanging out at Forster. Then, well, Taylor's got her office. They have Eric's home, Brooke's home, which kind of looks the same. Um, and the beach house, and it's just homes, businesses, or Gardinos. They don't have like come up with something else. I heard they move lots or whatever, so they have a new studio. So put in a new set in there. Build a coffee shop or something. I don't know. But it's also funny because LA, I consider that a bigger area than the other soaps are in, except for Beyond the Gates. No, JH has like a billion places for people to hang out. But yeah, that just drives me crazy about that backboard. But I'm gonna shut up because I feel like I'm watched Bold and the Beautiful too much. So I'm starting to repeat myself. But that's all I ask for the year of 2026. What would you like to see happen on Bold in 2026? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more Bold and the Beautiful videos, soap videos, and other stuff. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna shut up. I feel like I'm rambling now. Love you, love you guys.